Thank you for having me. I am Linden Thayer, and I am the Assistant Director of Food Systems Planning, and I'll explain that in a minute. But first, how many of y'all have heard, buy more local? I want sushi on the menu. Why is all of our stuff plastic wrap? Why can't we have reusable trays? Why is my child having to pay more than another child, right? All of these questions get thrown at all of the professionals in this room every day, all day. And every professional has an answer and also no time. So what I'm here, I think, is really to talk about this unique position that's been created in Durham Public Schools because it is novel and weird and exciting. And maybe it's something that we can spread elsewhere. So you can go ahead and advance to the next slide. We can keep going one more. So this title, Assistant Director of Food Systems Planning, I don't sit in the nutrition department. This role has been created in a school planning department, and my whole job is to think about the future of school food. It's a job we're making up as we go. It's a job that has some North Stars, though. First and foremost, it's centering student voice. So for all of the professionals in this room who have been told you should find out more about what your kids think and haven't had the ways and means to do that in a really consistent and meaningful way, they've just created my position to do just that all day, every day. All right? I'm there to think about concentric circles. If students are centered, around them are their families, around them are their school nutrition staff, their teachers, their administrators, the larger community, the producers out in the community. How can we connect to each of those and build those relationships? My whole job is to build relationships all day, every day. My whole job is also to try to bring us up to speed so that when we have those conversations and those visioning sessions with students in particular, and they tell us that they want to address climate change in their school food program, or they want to have culturally relevant menus in their school food program, that we've gotten our school kitchens and our staff to a place where we can have meaningful conversations and actually take action. So a lot of my job, as you'll see here, is data collection, right? Where are we now? That's a whole lot of trays that I weighed, measured, and analyzed. And where can we go from here? My day-to-day looks like craziness, just like every other professional who works in school nutrition in this room. Some of my folks are here, and you even heard from Sky earlier. So there's a whole team of 300 people in Durham Public Schools who are doing the day-to-day operations. They are keeping it going. They are keeping the good work happening. And I have the privilege, yes, in this role to do the things that, of course, we want to think about culturally relevant menus. Of course, we wanted to think about what do students want and need. There's now a body and an extra set of hands to do it. And it's amazing what one extra body and a system can do. So why is this important when we're thinking about North Carolina food systems? It's not an elephant in the room, we all know it. Schools are institutional buyers. We buy a lot, right? When I go to the store and buy some carrots for the week, I buy a pound of carrots, right? When Durham Public Schools goes to the store every week and buys carrots, we're buying 3,000 pounds at a time. So we have an impact, and we have an outsized impact on our regional food system. And so my job is, in part, to think about how can we use those dollars and use our powers to shift what we're doing, right? We can buy 3,000 pounds of carrots the way we've always done, or we can think about how can we adjust our procurement systems in the future, and yes, it takes time, you all know this, to think about who we're buying those carrots from going forward and why. Yeah. Food systems work is complicated. It's interconnected. So having someone to think about the 30,000-foot view while everybody else can think about the day-to-day operations, it just makes such a difference. So Sky can come to me yesterday and say, can you work on marketing summer food programs so that I can keep feeding the kids today, right? We have that team, and we've got now this extra set of hands to do some of the things that wouldn't have gotten done otherwise. We also, in school food, have to have this collective, frank conversation about what are our values, right? We all value and care first and foremost, most likely, for the students we are serving. And our students are a whole child, a whole person. So yes, we feed them in the cafeteria every day, but they go home to a family, to a farm, to a community. And what are we doing in our school food programs that can support that, right? How could we buy more local, regional? How could we use reusable trays so that we're not filling up the landfill next to Susie's house? So can we have that collective values and visioning work? And can it be led by students? That's the job that I've been tasked with. I'm essentially serving as a translator from the complicated and sometimes fraught environment of USDA food rules and regulations to all of the constituents, students, families, community, who don't understand it. and have been coming to you and knocking your door for years saying, can I have the sushi, please? I'm there to be that middle person, and I'm also there to sort of guide the conversation and say, I hear you over here saying this. Here are rules and regulations that we have to live by. Where's the common ground so that we can find the way to yes? Regional food systems work happens across North Carolina and happens in our schools every day, right? We have our NCDA Farm to School program. We have Fresh Fruit and Vegetable program happening. We have our Farm to School Coalition and our Early Care Farm to School Coalition. For those of you who are running school operations, y'all recently are about to get some funding to buy local from a USDA grant that was just awarded in the fall. What can we do with that, and how can we make that bigger and play that up more than it is? It's not a huge amount of money, but what can we do to make a really big difference in the lives of our kids through how we use those dollars? So what we're doing in Durham, I'm going to be quite frank, Durham is a high-resource community with a lot of low-resource kids, but it's really, I think, up to places like Durham to lead the way. We're not asking all of our smaller counties to fund a position like mine. You don't need to. What we're asking is collaboration. So I'm standing here saying, I'm here with Durham Public Schools, but I'm really here for all the kids in North Carolina. So if there are ways that we can develop, make the mistakes for you, and hand over what works and what doesn't, to share collectively, that's what we're really aiming for. So thank you so much, and I look forward to hearing more from you.